This is just a quote that I picked up from the Wall Street Journal I thought was very fitting. They call this cap and trade a scheme to redistribute wealth, but in a very curious way. It takes from the working class and gives to the affluent. It takes from Miami, Ohio, and gives to Miami, Florida. And it takes from industrial America that is already struggling and gives to rich Silicon Valley and Wall Street investors who know how to leverage the political class. So what we've seen with this is very extreme regional disparities where states on the coast, New York, California, that already have high rates, they're going to see some very big advantages to this. In fact, there was another article in the Wall Street Journal from a New York senator who just loves this because of the amount of wealth it's going to create for New York on Wall Street. Not a very good thing for Missouri, though. These are just some of the points in our stand when we go to Congress and we talk to them about what we see a need for in this legislation. And first of all, consumers need a safety valve. If prices are going to go way up because of this legislation, we need something to kick in that will give consumers a break, just in some way. We just can't let electric bills double or triple. Coal-dependent utilities, and that's especially Missouri, really all the Midwest. We need allowances that will give us some time for the technology to catch up, because there are some good things coming, but if they tell us tomorrow we can't use coal, we'd have to turn off the lights for a good part of the day. Some of the reductions they're talking about are too ambitious and unrealistic. If they won't work, then it's obviously this effort's going to be a failure. And finally, electricity must remain affordable, and the second word, reliable. We've got to be able to count on it. Now, you've seen a lot of figures thrown around about what cap and trade legislation can cost. There was one that said a postage stamp a day, anywhere from millions, and everything in between. Missouri's utilities got together and said we need to talk to our customers, let them know exactly what it's going to do here in Missouri. So this is kind of an unprecedented study. I can't remember in my 24 years the utilities agreeing on anything. But we did come together and everybody looked at their costs very carefully, and we put together a study, which if any of you are interested, I can get you copies of this, focused only on Missouri. And by 2012, it showed rate increases in the neighborhood of 12% to 26%. But because these steps are phased in over time, by 2020, we could see increases from 25% to 42%. And it could go as high as 77% in a scenario where we would have to switch all the coal plants to natural gas. Right now, coal is obviously the cheapest way to generate electricity. If we have to go to natural gas, not only would our costs go up, but we'd probably see costs to consumers go up because they'd be competing with generation for their home heating fuels. Don't have to take our word for it. Here's another study done by FAPRI, which is the University of Missouri's Food and Ag Policy Research Institute. This looks strictly at farmers and what this is going to cost farmers. And they found, they looked at a farm just up the road here in Lafayette County, would pay an additional $11,000 a year by 2020 and $30,000 a year by 2050. Their costs would go up at just about everything: seed, fertilizer, fuel, chemicals, custom work, electricity, and repairs. And broke this down just a little bit. It's very hard to look at a member and say, here's how much your bill is going to go up because of this. But some of the folks down at Associated Electric kind of looked at this. This is based on the Waxman-Markey bill, which the House passed. It's real simple math. If the emission allowances are $20 a ton, it'd be $20 a member. If they're $50 a ton, it'd be $50 a member. The reason you really can't put a price to this is because no one knows what these emission credits, which will be auctioned off. And if you know how auctions work, they could be real high, they could be low, they could vary month to month. So if anybody says they know the exact amount, it's very hard to tell. But keep in mind too, we're just talking about electricity here. We're not talking about how much your groceries are going to go up, how much your fuel is going to go up, manufactured goods, anything that uses electricity in the manufacturing process. New cars, that sort of thing, stand to go up.
Back to that slide, Jim.
Sure.
Is that $20 for 20? Is that because each member generates $20 are a ton of emissions?
No, not exactly. It just has to do with how many allowances we would have to buy for our power plants. We've got 2 power plants that would essentially have to buy credits, and a lot of that's up in the air, but if you're interested, I could get you more specifics on that.